yeah, another song
Yeah.
in the series. So this one sort of, was it birthed in a jam session between you and Adam?
Well, it's actually an old riff of Adam's that Adam had for a while. So that main riff he'd had for quite some time, and then it was just a session where I'm not sure why it ended up being just Adam and I anyway for that evening. So we decided to jam it out, and I came up with the drum part and helped him with created that chorus part. I thought it needed a third section so that because we had the riff and then that verse bit Adam had, that they went back and forth, and I thought, it needs to go somewhere else. So I came up with that very, very basic chord section for
the dirty grunge part.
Yeah, for the chorus. And then we'd written it. I was like, this sounds kind of pop punky, which is obviously Adam Moret's in that vein quite a bit, and I just kind of leaned into it. I kind of wanted the drums to sound like they could be on an Alkaline Trio album, so which I think I achieved, at least for the verses. So we kind of had that structure from that session, and then boarded it in to show you and Jake, either the next week or a couple of weeks later, and then we all fleshed it out. You added an extra verse riff that you came later to, didn't you? That wasn't straight away.
I think that's my only real contribution to the song. So I was quite happy just bashing that one out, really. It's got some sort of Feeder and Nirvana vibes to it, so it's just an enjoyable one to play. But that part I came up with, it just needed something a little extra, just to sweeten it a bit. But otherwise, it's just full on.
I know that I wasn't sure what to do lyrically for it for a while, and then I stumbled on an old post of mine on Facebook that was kind of a poem. I used to do this all the time, put up little poems on Facebook. Back like it's kind of, when they come up now, they're a little bit cringe to look at because of the way that Facebook has changed in the way it was. But this was about the distaste for New Year's Eve as a celebration, and I thought it was it fit for the chorus. And then I still didn't really quite know some of the other words that were in that, like the poem that I'd written didn't really work. So I left it until the day of the recording. We came in to do the main vocals, and I wrote them that morning based on that snippet from the original poem. I'm quite happy with them. I think they turned out all right. But so it's a bit of a hodgepodge of ideas, but I think it's come together into a really nice. It's one of my highlights from this selection of songs. I think one of my favourites.
It's interesting with the lyric that you sort of harken back to wishing you could just stay in 1999. And I know that obviously that was a special year in our lives because that's when we met and formed the first band, etc. So was there any particular sort of personal reference?
It was just really that was just a really great year for me. I think in general, obviously we formed our band that year, but I met some of the people like yourself and Grant, my best friend, who was in Absent, and I met a bunch of people who've remained in my life ever since that year. There was just lots of firsts for me that year. I went to Reading Festival, so it was the first time I'd gone out of town to watch live music myself. Just the list is endless. It was just
music and films and culture in general.
Yeah, there were a lot of great albums of that year, a lot of great films. Yeah. But it was one of those summers that felt like it never ended. It was just a really I finished school that year, so I finished my GCSEs. And the world felt like it was my oyster right at that moment in time. And then I say that summer, I just was keen to. I kind of was grabbing life by the horns or whatever, and just and that's say how we formed our band, how I formed relationships. As my first serious relationship started that year. Like it just was a really great time. So when I think
we were both sweet 16.
And when I think I wrote that. Sometime around 2009, so I was kind of nostalgizing a decade before, and here we are now, obviously quite a lot longer ago.
Away.
and there have been other great years. It's not like I only want to live in that year, but I didn't want to change it because it seemed like a nice, fun, quirky lyric.
Yeah, in some ways, like for me, it was a bit like year zero.
Yeah,
sort of finishing school and starting adult life in a way, and playing in bands and so on. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why I kind of wanted to lean
marker.
into that that sense of like not wanting these are like, whilst there's been wonderful things happen in the last 26 years of my life, I think it's that feeling of just wanting to stay in a good place, but not have the years creep up on you, and wishing you could just stay young forever. Essentially, I suppose is more the sentiment than anything else. But I think, whilst I might not have the same vitriol for celebrating New Year as I've kind of encapsulated in the lyrics, I kind of tried to put myself back in that mindset to write it.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, what's the point? It's all just the same. Everything's the same. I wanted to go back to. You want to go back to a time where the next year feels like it's full of possibility, as opposed to just more of the same.
Yeah.
And I think as you get older, like fewer and fewer New Years feel like they're filled with opportunity. It just feels like, right, a lot of people lie to themselves and say, I want a fresh start, I'm going to do
New Year's resolutions get ditched quickly.
The ditched quickly, and the reality is that much of what you were doing this year has to roll over. Most of us have to keep the same job. Most of us have to keep doing the same things, and week in, week out, the responsibilities that ever more increase over time. You're lumbered with more and more of these, and it becomes harder to break out of that. So again, that youthful optimism of like, where you have so few responsibilities that you could up and do anything you want within the following year. The new year could be a completely different change for you.
I think it's also, we look at that summer of '99, the way that Bryan Adams wrote Summer of '69 about, that was our summer. And
although
optimism.
he's later gone on record to say that was just about sex. So
but
how most of us interpreted it is that feeling of like
just the imagery, the poetry,
of
the story he tells in
youthful excitement and optimism. And so
whereas his band didn't get far, we actually started our band, and not saying we got far, but we never gave up.
We've come this far.
We've come this far. So we could rewrite that song.
So that's where I was going to with that. We're putting this out for in time for New Year. So we just thought it'd be a fun time to put that out, and don't take it too seriously. But it's our New Year's song. There aren't many songs for New Year's Eve. Like you've got Prince 1999. I can't think of any other really that are specifically.
No, New Year's Day, U2.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There you go. There's
all
probably some more out there, but I can't really think of many. So
plenty of Christmas songs. But
loads of Christmas songs, but not so many New Year's songs. Like, feel free to let us know of any more that we're missing. Maybe we can put a compilation together, make a great playlist to add ours to. So if you think of any, pop them in the old comments, and we'll try and put that playlist together for everyone. But
it's also like a full circle moment, because our first music video was set on New Year's, wasn't it? When
Daylight Breaks was set on New Year's Eve. So, but only the video. But that was I remember thinking about, just to bring it to that song in a minute, bit of a digression. But I remember thinking of the video, because obviously that song was about a fresh, wanting a fresh refresh on accepting, like, when the morning comes, something is over. And New Year's Eve felt like a nice juxtaposition for the lyrics there. But that one was also very pessimistic about a following day. So but let us know if you know of any other songs that are about New Year's Eve, and we hope you like this one.